today I have filmed this kind of smoky glam look just to sit in my living room because I've not got anywhere else to go. But I just wanted to share with you how I achieved this look, as this is what I wear mainly when I go out. It's a super easy way to achieve a smoky eye, and yeah, just a bit more on skin as well. Mainly brows too, so you can learn how I get these bushy brows of mine. Yeah, that's about it really. So if you want to see how I created this look step by step, please keep watching and I'll see you soon. So I'm gonna first prep my skin with, this is the Paula's Choice Skin Restoring Moisturiser, normal to dry. So it's just like a little one. And it's got SPF 50 in, which I know the sun's not shining, but you should always protect your skin with SPF, regardless of whether the sun's out or not. So I'm just going to pop that on first. So just kind of like a pea-sized amount, rub it all into the skin. And I get quite dry in the winter, and then a bit more oily in the summer, so I'm fairly like normalish skin. I'm gonna do, now this is like really weird because on clients and customers I do eyes first, but I always like to put a really thin base on so that the customer can kind of judge how dark the smoky eye is, and also for me so I can kind of see how dark it's going. And I find the best way to do that is with a light layer of foundation on. On myself, however, I always do foundation first. Don't know why, I just do. I always do it a little bit different on myself. So today I'm going to use one of my two favourite foundation slash tinted moisturisers. So you've got the Nude Stix tinted cover foundation, and then It Cosmetics CC cream. This is amazing. Like, the amount we sell at work is just incredible because it's such a good cover. Like, it's classed as a CC cream, which is kind of put into colour corrected, so that's what CC means. So it includes normally a concealer and some form of colour correcting properties. Your BB cream is classed as a beauty balm, so that normally has like a primer or some form of like skincare in there too. So I'm going to mix them together, just more because I really love the finish of this, because it's nice and glowy, but I want the coverage of the CC, so I'm just going to mix together. So I'm just going to do a full pump of this. Is so much product, so you really don't need that much product, so I'm just going to pump kind of like an even amount of both, and then I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Buff and Blend brush, which is kind of like a angled, stubby kind of brush. Starting from kind of cheeks, and just buff and blend. So I kind of normally like to kind of like stipple it on, which is like this kind of motion. Okay, so once all that's done, I'm then going to go on to brows. Now, this is probably one of my most asked questions at work, in the supermarket, just anywhere. What for on my brows? What do I use? So this is my brows with nothing on. Now you can probably see here, that is my hair. This is where I had it microbladed quite a while ago. So if I brush these up, it covers the faded microblading. So at the front, yes, I have got hair, and to do this you do need hair to do it. Whether that be a little bit at the front and then you draw the rest on, but you do mainly need hair to do this. So this is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This is the best brow gel I've ever used. considering the amount of different ones that I've tried. So that is the brush. It's got fine little bristles at the top. This one's got a slightly smaller row of them, and then it's flat in the middle. So instead of actually applying this like this with the bristles, I use the flat part of the brush. So I dip in, and then I literally coat the whole eyebrow in brow gel. So the bristles are combing it, but I am using the flat side to apply it. So I'm literally sticking them down as I do it. Twist the brush over where there's more product. Now this really does keep your eyebrows in place. The most question I probably get asked is, are your eyebrows crusty? Yes, they do feel like I've got loads of hairspray on them, but they don't actually go crispy throughout the day unless you actually physically rub them. So unless you are like really rubbing your eyebrows, there you go, you can see the difference. Unless you are really rubbing your eyebrows, like when it comes to me taking it off at night, like yes, it is like you can see like white bits coming off it, but it's then kind of ready to come off. But other than that, as long as you don't mess with them throughout the day, they will literally just stay like this until you take them off. Like the hairs don't move, they literally stick in place. Now for anyone that doesn't want like a bushy brow like I always have before, or this brow lamination came in, I've always had my brows like this, apart from when they were horrendous years ago. You can still use this and just use the actual bristle part to just kind of set them. But like I say, use the flat part to get a completely stuck up brow. So next I'm going to go on to eyes, and I'm just going to prep the eyelid with some concealer and then kind of not blend as such, but kind of smudge it all over the eye, and that's going to be my base. So this is just the NARS Radiant Creamy in Chantilly, which is the lightest shade. So I'm literally just gonna pack quite a bit of product on a brush and then just kind of go over the whole eyelid. Now I normally do use something a bit thicker, like the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye is like perfect for eyeshadow prep, but I've left it at my mum's and I obviously can't go there. So I'm having to make do with what I've got, which is this. So pop that all over the eyelid. If you do want more of a defined brow, you can literally go right underneath the brow, but for today I'm just going to do a bushy brow, so you kind of don't want to make it look perfect, so you don't want to go too high with the concealer as such. So it does look a bit strange because it is lighter than my skin tone, but you need something on your eyes to prep them, and I would say a concealer any day over an eye primer. Like they're practically exactly the same thing. Like concealer, a thick concealer does the best job. Okay, so onto eyeshadow. So this is an eyeshadow from Illamasqua called Vulgar. It's like a light orangey, kind of quite bright colour, but it's not too dark. Now I'm just going to take this on a really fluffy brush. So this is the Zoeva 228, my most used brush, definitely. I have about 8 of these. So I'm holding it right at the very end because it gives you less control. So if I was holding it right up here, you're not going to get much of a blend. It's going to be more of like a solid orange block kind of colour. This really blends it out. So kind of just applying it right where your crease is, but then I'm kind of blowing it out a little bit. So if you could feel how light I'm holding this brush, like I'm hardly even holding it. So the amount of pressure I'm applying is probably this much. Little tiny circular motions, backwards and forwards. Now, it doesn't really matter how much we're getting on the actual eyelid because we're going to put a darker colour over that anyway. I would just focus on getting that blend here really nice and blown out. And you can't really go wrong because the brush does most of the work for you. Perfect, so that is the orange that we've put on first. Now I'm going to go in with the same brush and now go in with Wolf, which is like a really cool brown shade. Completely matte, no shimmer. So I'm just going to put it on the same brush. Now this, we're focusing more on the lid. So we're not going super high like we have just done. Applying this with a fluffy brush rather than a flat brush still helps us get that blend, because we don't want it to be brown then orange, we wanted it blended. So I am just kind of patting, but then almost just kind of blending at the same time. And we're just focusing, doing it mainly on the lid. Now I am getting a bit of fall down here, and that is mainly why makeup artists don't do the foundation first, is because you get fall down. Now I've only just done my foundation, I've not done my concealer, so I am going to wipe this and then apply concealer. So it's not the end of the world if you do foundation first. So that now is slightly more blended. I am just going to get the orange again, but mainly on the other side of my brush. Apply the darker colour face down on the lid and just blend that orange colour. So it's not too far up and it's not too far down, it is literally sat in the crease. So I'm going to do the other eye the same. Fabulous. So now that is the majority of our eyeshadow put down. Now next is the exciting bit. So this eyeshadow, I have bought 3 of them, just in case it gets discontinued. Like I have a complete panic that it's going to get discontinued and I'll never be able to get it again. So this is the Urban Decay Diamond Dog. And you can't even see, oh you can a bit there now, how glittery this actually is. So I'm going to apply it with my finger. It does have a brown colour to it. I don't think you're going to be able to see the sparkle on it, but it's just amazing. Now this, I'm just literally going to pat with my finger over that dark shadow. Not going too high up because we don't really want it to sit on the orange. I'm just going to see if you can see the shimmer. You can't really because of the lighting in here. Again, another thing I've left at my mum's is my ring light. So we're dealing with what we've got here. I will, however, take pictures at the end and pop them at the end of the video so you'll be able to see how shimmery this is. You need it in your life, just trust me, just buy it, it's so good. They do it in different colours as well, so I've got like a greeny colour from them, they do a black, and they're literally amazing. So I've literally just pressed that over the brown, and that is all we're going to do. So we're going to keep the underneath clean, I think. So I'm quite enjoying this kind of like full eye, but then nice and smooth underneath. So now you can see my red cheeks underneath. I'm just going to take off that excess that has fallen down. Go back in with my foundation brush, a little bit of my foundation. There we go, that wasn't too bad. Concealer wise, I'm just going to use the NARS one. Again, like I said, I would have probably used the It Cosmetics one if I had it. I hadn't left it at my mum's. But the NARS one I'll do. Now I do normally use a beauty blender, but when I don't want it to be like super like foundation underneath my eyes, I do just use my foundation brush. And I think it is because of the style of this brush that because it's slightly angled, I just kind of pat that kind of angled part into the eye. I'm just going to get that fluffy brush, mainly the orange side, and just kind of pat the outer corners from where any concealer has just kind of smudged the outer eyeshadow colour. So I'm looking kind of ghostly at the moment, and this is why it's so important to use bronzer, because no one's face naturally is one colour. So your bronzer is going to add the definition. Now, this is Give Me Sun from MAC. It is quite a dark shade. A lot of people are scared of bronzers because they can be so dark. But it's about the technique of how you apply it and how light-handed you are. If you're dipping in your brush and going straight on the cheek and smudging it backwards, you are going to get that dirty kind of line of bronzer. This is how I apply mine and how I apply it to all my clients. So this is just an old brush that I've had in my makeup kit for so long. So I'm literally going to start at the top of where my ear is. And again, really light-handed in little circular motions. Into the temple. And round the edges of the forehead. Now again, the pressure is like that. I'm not going in and smudging. I'm doing little light fluffy motions. So that is now foundation, concealer and bronzer. People are probably wondering, do they need to powder? If you use quite a heavy concealer, yes, I would apply a light amount of translucent powder, which to be honest, I think I might do. Just because when you use a dark colour of eyeshadow, you will probably find that you do still get a little bit of fall down after you finish your eyeshadow. So this is just the Estée Lauder Set Blur Finish Pressed Powder. So this is just going on a Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to literally pat the under eye just so it's a bit more set. Okay, so now I'm going to do highlighter. Again, really old brush, it's not even got a name on it, but it needs to be quite a small, either angled brush, something like that, even an eyeshadow brush, even just a plain old eyeshadow brush to kind of apply your highlighter. I'm going to use MAC's Whisper of Gilt. Now they do sell this in normal packaging, this is just a limited edition one from a Christmas set. So they still do have this colour. I'm going to apply it to the side of my brush rather than the belly of it. And this is going to go just above where we put the bronzer. Now again, because the lighting is pants in here and it's getting dark outside, you can't actually see that highlighter, but again, I will take some pictures and hopefully you'll be able to see it in that. So above the cheek, above the bronzer, and then we're just going to bring it on the nose, on the cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin. And I do highlighter first before my blusher. So the order I do it in is bronzer, highlighter, blusher. And that is just because I find that blusher helps blend the stripe of highlighter that we've just done. I'm quite restricted on what blushes I've got, however I have got this palette from Natasha Denona, Diamond and Blush, which has got different highlighters, different blushes in. I'm just going to use the powder blush in that on a MAC 159. I'm not sure whether they still do this, so it's kind of like a domed duo fibre brush. And that's going to go kind of on the apples of the cheeks, but blended into the highlighter and the bronzer, ever so slightly. A couple of my favourite blushes. I love a cream blusher. Nude Stix do great cream blushes, probably brown. NARS do one called Unlawful, which is literally my all-time favourite blusher, which I do wear most days, but like I say, it's not here. So that is now Skin. Now, let me just show you. So this is just a disposable makeup wand. My eyebrows now, I can't move. They're completely set. So that is how set they go. Like, I mean, set. I probably am gonna put a bit of eyeshadow underneath because I do think it looks a little bit bold. I'm probably just going to get a little bit of the brown one. This is a brush from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, so you get a fluffy brush on the end and a more stubby one on the end, which is great for doing under eye work. So I'm literally just going to put a little bit on the tip of the brush and just literally smudge it right under my lash line. If you wanted it a bit darker, you could always put a liner in the inner corner, in the waterline, sorry. If you really wanted to smoke it out. Which I probably will do. After me saying, oh, I probably won't put any colour underneath, but why not? Let's go all out. I am now just going to get a bit of bronzer on the fluffy part of the other side of the brush and literally just blend the underneath. And because bronzer is such a natural colour, it just helps anything blend much better. Okay, so I've got the Perversion 24-hour waterproof Urban Decay eyeliner. I'm literally just going to pop this in my waterline. It's such a black eyeliner and it's waterproof, so best of both worlds. The other eyeliner that I really do like is the Ico, which you can get in Selfridges. Now I am just getting a little bit of the black on that brush again, and I'm kind of just rubbing it almost into my eyelashes, just so it's not a solid black line, it's going to be more smudgy. And again with the other side. And then your brush that we used to do the powder with, just kind of like underneath. So you'll be able to see more on this side now. Now I'm just going to take a bit of the brown again on that stubby kind of brush that we've been using for the underneath and just help smudge that black out a bit more. And then other end, and then powder brush again under the eye, just to get rid of any fall down. Okay, so I am going to pop on some eyelashes because I feel like an eye like this doesn't always look great with just mascara. I mean, you can, like, there's nothing stopping you. But, you know, if we're doing a full glam, let's put some eyelashes on. Okay, so these eyelashes are the Huda Olivia, which are like a shorty lash. They are so wispy. I use them all the time on customers. They're so nice. They are so full at the root, but yet so fluffy at the ends. So I'm just going to apply some glue. I find glue-wise that the latex-free glue is much better. So it's the one that looks like a bluey colour. It goes like iridescent kind of. And then it sets more clear. The one that's white and smells funny has latex in it. And I just find it doesn't go as tacky. So if you can get yourself a latex-free glue, I would definitely say get that over like a normal one. So you need to wait for these to go a little bit tacky. When they're yours, you can blow on them a little bit. Just gonna get some tweezers. Just move this mirror forward. Now eyelashes are never easy to put on. So many people struggle with them and it's completely normal. They do take a bit of faffing around. You want to make sure that they fit your eye properly, that the edges are trimmed from the outside, not the inner corner. Just to make sure that they do fit, otherwise you will get them digging in your eyes. And then I just literally hold them higher than my actual eye and I just pop them down. Now mainly focus on this outer corner and then with some tweezers pushing the inner corner. And then just go along pushing them in very gently until they're stuck on. If they don't stick straight away, the glue can be still quite wet, so you do need to wait for it to dry a little bit. Now make sure you do keep blinking, because any part of your eye that waters will stop the glue from working, so make sure you are blinking in between. Now that one is completely on. Such nice lash, you can still see my eyeshadow through it, it's not too big. Do the other one. There we go. So then I'm going to do lipstick now and then put on some mascara. So I'm going to use the NYX Mauve lip liner. And then this is the Tilbury Kim KW, which is like a light nude colour. Now I do really like a really pale nude. And then I'll just go back in with my lip liner. And then a bit of mascara. Now I don't like to put too much on the tops, just because of the actual lashes. And there you have it, the finished look. So I will take some close-up videos because I know the lighting is getting pretty pants in here considering it's going dark outside now. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I shall be doing a few more over the next few days, considering I've not really got much else to do at the moment. So stay safe, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon.